What a time to be alive. You know what I mean? By any means that you can measure, in the history of mankind, there has never been a better place in time to live than now in 2026. Even with wars and crazy shit and Me Too movement and whatever you want to put and all this nonsense of 6-7 and whatnot. But guys, we have internet, we have TikTok. Well, it is a very good time to be alive. Hopefully soon we can do space exploration again. So many things happening, like Third World War, like we talked in the previous episode. But one thing that always pop up in my TikTok channel is this guy who always mentioned this. He said, things I don't think should be doing as a grown-ass man. Some of the things that he says is funny, he make fun of it, but some of them he's been pretty serious, and I want to talk something very important, things that grown-ass man shouldn't be doing and maybe they should be doing. And yes, I'm saying this as a grown-ass man who still gets surprised when the barber cuts more hair than expected. So clearly, I'm also still learning. You know why I mentioned this? Last December, Cheryl went for a hairstylist. She wanted to do something on her hair. I said, just go, I will support you, not just psychologically, but also I'll pay it as part of your birthday gift. And when she came out, she didn't get what she wanted. And I just kind of make fun saying, you have to tell what you want. And that's something that it hit me last Friday when I went to the barber. A grown-ass man have to tell your barber, hey, what the fuck you doing? In my defense, I did tell him a couple of times. I said, look, I want to cut my hair a little bit here on the sides, a little bit here on the back. The front also is very long, but I want to keep my hair long. And he just started cutting. And now is, as you see, this is not long by any means. This is super short again. So yeah, this is me. I asked for one thing and the barber heard something completely different. So now I look more disciplined than I actually are. Then taking inspiration from this TikToker who always mentioned things I don't think you should be doing as a grown-ass man, I also did my list. I put few stuff. Some of things are more funny than others, but I would try to approach the one that I think are kind of serious, but a lot of people don't really pay attention to it more in these times that it's okay to be vulnerable as a man. So I would say that one of the things that I don't think grown-ass man should be doing is blaming everyone else. They blame most of it work, or they put as an excuse. They blame their boss, they blame their government, they blame that Mercury is in retrograde and all these things, but like everything else, you need to look yourself in the mirror and, well, good news, you find the issue. Most of the times it's you. A lot of the things that happen around you or to you is part of your doing. If you complain about your job, it's because the decisions that you took when you went to school, when you choose a career, and when you look for a job. And I know a lot of people will come and say, no, some people don't have the chance, some people don't have the choices in life like you, some people don't have the opportunities to go to university. And maybe you are right, not everyone has the same opportunities, but I have met a lot of people with a lot of resources, like rich people, and people who are from more humble beginnings. And both of them, I can see how in one way or another they take control of their lives and they do something that they wanted to. I'm not saying that it's easy, and for some people it will be easier than others, but, well, what can you say? Now, point number 2 about things that I don't think you should be doing as a grown-ass man is acting like basic skills are optionals. You're a grown-ass man and you don't know how to cook. You are 22 years old and you don't know how to change a tire of your mom's car. You are 35 years old and you still don't clean your own house. Come on, man. These are just basic skills. It's not advanced survival skills that you need to go to a, I don't know, to a boot camp or something. You just man up and clean your house, make the food for your family, help your wife, help your kids, do the laundry, clean the toilet, all these things that you don't want to do, you have to do it. Come on, man. It's not like a, I don't know, rocket science. You know the drill. If you are 35 years old and you still treating laundry like an advanced chemistry class, we need to talk. You need to watch more of these videos. And from a serious angle, being competent is very attractive, and not just to women, but for your friends, for society, for all kind of things. It's very useful, and it gives you a lot of freedom. More in these times of AI, because they say, hey, we'll take your jobs, people will take our jobs, and then you can see mechanics fixing cars, you can see electricians fixing cars, you can see plumbers fixing your house, you can see people working in construction, in lay bricks and stuff. Those jobs are not going to be taken by AI. So being a grown-ass man and put your shit together again. Point number 3 of things that you shouldn't be doing as a grown-ass man. And I think I have failed in this one a couple of times. And I think a grown-ass man should stop chasing teenagers' validation. When I say teenager, I'm talking about your kids. Or let's talk about people who work with you. You need to be their leader. You need to be their mentors. But you don't need to try to look cool and flexing about things that you do now as an adult that when you were a kid you didn't do it. I mean, of course you have it now because you're a grown-ass man. You're like 20, 25, 30, 40 years older than these people that you're trying to flex. It's about stop trying to convince everyone around or strangers that you are successful and things like that. Not just that, but also, for example, in my case, with the kids at home, they're teenagers, and sometimes I want to teach them something, and I think instead of trying to teach them or trying to guide them, sometimes it sounds more like a flex, that I think that's not right. And I'm not doing it on purpose, but I think it's kind of like, because sometimes I feel proud about something and I want to help, but of course, these kids and teenagers, they don't care. I'm just an old uncle. And point number 4, and let's close this topic about things that you shouldn't be doing as a grown-ass man with point number 4. And the point is, grown-ass man should stop avoiding responsibility. And I'm referring more specifically to all these parents, all these dads that they leave their kids behind, or that they leave their family behind for some stupid reasons that I'm not going to talk about them. You need to man up and figure it out. The way I see it, a grown man doesn't need to be perfect, but he should be reliable. If people cannot count on you, it doesn't matter all this money that you make, all these watches and cars and all the things that you talk, it don't mean anything if they cannot rely on you, because you're not reliable. There's no excuses about, I don't know, I don't have a time, it's just about priorities. And, breaking promises, those things are not nice. So be a grown-ass man and don't avoid responsibilities. Take care of your family, take care of your mom, take care of your dad, take care of your friends, take care of your job, take care of your house, take care of your car. When you say, oh man, too many things, suck it up, man. This is your responsibility and no one else's. Maybe you're very lucky like me that you have a good woman next to you and she will help you carry the load, and vice versa sometimes. But you have to do it, man. Don't avoid responsibilities. Sometimes it might be hard, but trust me on this one. Now the part that I was really excited to talk about, and is things that you should be doing as a grown-ass man. And I just have, there's a lot of things, of course, but I just have like maybe 2, maybe 3 main things. The first one, I think you should build something as a grown-ass man. And when I say build something, it could be building a business, it could be building your career. But when I say building your career, it's like actually grow in your job, not just stay there, basically becoming like a lamp in an office that basically you just sit in a quiet corner and you just get your salary. Well, anyway, if that, I mean, if that rocks your boat, I guess it's a thing too. But you're a grown ass man. You're 45-year old, and you cannot build Legos, for example, or you don't have any skill to, I don't know, fix the lights of your house, or you don't know how to work with wood, or you don't know how to cook, or you cannot help the community, or you don't know how to use the washing machine. So, build something, even build a family, maybe. Why not? If you can be a good father, you build a family with successful people, build something. One of the things that helps this point about building something is keeping promises, and sometimes keeping promises to yourself. For example, I have in my bucket list of this year that I want to start learning how to fly airplanes. So I want to keep that promise to myself and build that skill of flying airplanes. I have had this dream since I was a kid. I wanted to be a pilot. Now I can afford it, so I want to join flying school. And why I say keep promises is because sometimes you said that you're going to help your kids to build something, and you never help them because you say you're too busy at school, at work, or even at school. So keeping promises helps a lot to build something, to build a career. Basically, you keep the promises with your boss or with your coworkers and things like that. You can imagine all scenarios where keeping promises will make your life better. And just at the time that I was going to share the two last points of things that you should do as a grown-ass man, I got a grown-ass man call, basically from work. Everything is settled now, but when I was recording before, it was daylight. Now it's night, so I have to use different light. It's not as good as I wanted before. But the two things that I wanted to share, the things that you should be doing as a grown-ass man, is learn how to communicate. And when I say learn to communicate to even to people that they don't share your same point of view or your same values, or let's say that even if you think they're wrong, you need to learn how to communicate. That's very important. And actually this point is also valid for parents, because you need to learn how to communicate with your kids. Not that I know how to do it, but I think when I was young, I learned how to communicate with my mother. So I could get away with things because I was nice to her. Basically, if she wanted to be aware or me to call her when I was at a certain place, then I would just call her. If she just wanted to know where you are and that you're safe. So basically, I even asked her if she could pick me up when I was clubbing or something. And she was like, okay. Of course, she was picking me up quite early compared to my rest of the friends. But then I had a lot of perks on this because she picked me up. I don't have to spend money. It was safe and all kind of things. So learn how to communicate with everyone as a grown-ass man. And another point that is very important is take care of your health. Don't wait until it's too late or until you start having the pains or you start having the symptoms of something. So start going to the gym, join a CrossFit place, join a martial arts school, go for running, do bike, eat proper food, eat your vegetables, avoid a lot of sugar, avoid processed food. Of course, have some fun. Here and there, it's good to have a nice burger with a beer with some friends, but take care of your health before it's too late. That's very important. And as a grown-ass man, you should take care of your health, and you should try to take care of the health of people around you. And let's close today's episode with the parenting advice no one asked for. And it goes like this. Your kids may not listen to what you say, but they're watching and they're learning, and they can see what you do, and also they will know what you tolerate and what you don't tolerate. So basically they learn how they can get away with some things. So you have to be very careful with those things. You know, kids, how do I say, optimize danger. For example, when they go and play in the kids park and they go high in a, let's say, in a tree or something, and some parents don't even allow them. But kids, they're always optimizing danger. They will go as high as they can, and if they start feeling unsafe or afraid, then they will stop, or they might fall, but they will learn that they don't have to do it again. And maybe the parents will say, don't go, but they will learn by themselves. So optimizing danger, that's the same. It works the same with things that you say and things what you do with them. They know until which point can you get before you don't accept their behaviors or you don't accept what they're doing. And they can see that, for example, with your friends or with your significant other. So yes, be careful with that one. They're watching, they're learning, and they can see how to get away with some stuff. Parental advice from someone who just 4 years ago had no actual kids. Well, yeah, that's a good advice. Maybe sometimes you should listen to me. Like my friend Otman said, Fernando, sometimes you're always right. Okay, guys, peace.